Well, interview 3 in our series of the Tulsa County Assessor Candidate Interviews. I'm Darrell Baskin. You are watching The Future of Real Estate, and if you're in Tulsa, you can listen to The Future of Real Estate on AM 740 or 102.3 FM. That's KRMG. Saturdays at 1 o'clock, and we talk about everything real estate. It's Tulsa's source for local real estate news and information. This video series is an extension of that because we've got an election coming up, and of course, what's closer to our hearts in real estate than assessment and value? So we've got a new assessor coming in and had the same one for 16 years. So it's time to understand who our candidates are. Dominic Ting is with us. And Dominic, I just want to jump right in and find out about you. Sure. Tell me about your family.
My family, my father immigrated from Malaysia, went to Rhema Bible School.
Okay.
My mother's from Kentucky. They met, and here I am, born and raised, Tulsa, Oklahoma. Went to Edison 6th through 12th grade, went to Oklahoma State, and then moved back home and been here ever since.
Well, I was commenting that there really aren't a whole lot of born and raised Tulsans.
Not a lot.
We have a few of those. Most of us came here or left or something during the oil crash and stuff like that. I'm curious, are you related to the other Tings in?
Yes.
Well, obviously your mom and dad, but other real estate Tings.
Yes. My uncle and my cousin are in real estate.
Okay.
My aunt, Candy Ting, she's a doctor here in town. Yeah, there's a few of us. I mean, there's a few that I've seen that aren't related to me, but most of them, yeah, are my cousins.
Well, some commonality there. I'll know when I run into them who I'm talking to. So, one of the questions that I've always asked is what brought you to Tulsa, but you're still here in Tulsa. So my question would be, what kept you in Tulsa besides family?
I just love Tulsa, you know. There was a time when I thought about maybe moving away. My sister lived in New York for a while, and I'd go and visit and enjoyed that. But at the end of the day, I always owned a home here and just love Tulsa. I mean, it's home, so.
Well, aside from the basic job, I mean, the absolute requirements of assessment and what that job is, what's your philosophy of the office, the assessor's office, and how it should serve Tulsa?
Well, the function of the office is pretty simple. It's to accurately and equitably value property. So that's always been my focus. That's my main focus in my campaign. So I would say that whatever it takes to get that done as efficiently would be my goal.
So you're in the office now. You work in the office, but the day you take charge, day one, what's the first thing that you want to check off your list of accomplished tasks?
Where I want to immediately start moving in a technological upgrade and improvement, both in-house and for tools for the taxpayers. One example in-house would be when you mass appraise, you really, on this level, 250,000 plus residential parcels, 25,000 plus commercial parcels, with the man hours, resources that we have, in order to do it accurately, we have to improve our technology. So that would be the first thing.
And that has to be done every single year. Every parcel has to be reappraised. That's what the law says? Is that
once every 4 years is what the state laws mandate.
Okay, so tell me the difference between whatever the annual requirement is and what the 4-year requirement is, because there is a difference.
Yes,
right?
so the 4-year requirement, the state says that we have to physically appraise every property at least once every 4 years. So that's what we do, cut the county up into 4 parts.
Okay.
And then concentrate and rotate within each part every 4 years. In commercial, actually, we do look to touch every property every year.
Why is that? Because there's a bigger return for the taxpayer, or?
There's just, commercial is more complicated, and being that there's not as many parcels, so we don't have to have a body in as many locations, it's more attainable to do that once every 4 years. But with this technology that I'm talking about, well, we'd be able to actually touch every property every year with great accuracy.
What makes you uniquely qualified?
Well, I've been there over 10 years as an assessor, so I've been in the trenches, as they say.
Clarification on that, because it would be a follow-up, is has it all been the same job of an appraiser within the office, or have you worn other hats?
I actually, the first 2.5 years, I was in the residential department as an appraiser, the past 8 in the commercial. So I've always been an appraiser. My title right now is senior appraiser.
So what do you think is wrong with the assessor's office today?
I keep going back to this technology, but it's a big one, you know. So for example, when you, like I said, when you mass appraise, in order to do it with any degree of accuracy, we all know that technology is disrupting any industry in our lives and making things easier and more proficient and efficient. I think we're really lacking in that department. I actually just last night came back from Fort Collins, where we had our conference for the software that we use.
The current software.
That's correct. Yeah, it was a little bit of a letdown, just in the sense, I mean, they talk about a lot of things that they have upcoming and that they're going to roll out. It seems really difficult to actually implement any kind of new changes. I could get into really great detail about some of this stuff.
Well, and I'm interested in a little bit of that detail. We are, I mean, this video is purposeful for my friends and clients and the people that I'm communicating with on a regular basis, and we have enough time to have some of that detail.
Okay.
I'm curious what some of those things are.
Well, so for example, right now, the mapping software that we're using in-house, that's going to go away, and the vendor that we use, the software vendor, has come up with a mapping program called Maddox. And looking at it, it could work okay, but there's a core group of us within the office that are really passionate about this job and the public service we provide. And we're also tech geeks at heart, and we are constantly dabbling and working on side projects. We feel like we could build a mapping solution that would be far greater, far more beneficial.
In-house?
In-house.
And own it.
And own it, yeah. But one of the things that I would like to do is actually build all of our own software and then open source it, actually. I feel like if any software should be free to use, it should be software that government uses to provide public service.
Yeah,
so
interesting, yeah.
it's kind of a new concept. People can't really wrap their heads around that easily, but it's actually pretty common, a lot more common than people would think. Not to mention tech communities, they really are helpful and passionate about what they do, and they, of course, they'll go all day and program on one thing, but after they go home and get a bite to eat, they really hop back on their computers and work on other projects. You know? You'd be really surprised on how many people are. I'm talking to a few other people. They're really interested about what kind of tools we want to build, and I've had meetings just kind of explaining what it is.
So you think, and I don't want to get away from anything that you want to talk about from a campaign standpoint, but I'm curious about this because it's not been discussed by anyone else. You think there's a real ability to move forward with the county by changing our software, by using newer technology and also open sourcing it.
That's right. So
that it's more flexible, lower cost to operate.
Absolutely.
Maybe. Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I'm a tech guy, and my whole real estate company has just transformed the real estate world because we use a cloud office, et cetera. So I get what you're talking about. Now my question is, can people who are not in the tech world understand that and relate to it from a campaign standpoint, be like, yeah, this is the right direction for us to go, or is it just going by them?
I'm hoping to try to get that message across and get that, like I was saying, I don't know how deep to delve into these specific topics, but I mean, another example of what an improvement I'd like to make for the public is on the website, build a really comprehensive sales comparison tool. Just enter your address, it'll pull up a list of sales comps in your neighborhood. You can export that list. We really want to get to, I'm sure everyone's familiar with Trulia and Zillow.
Sure.
We feel like we can build software that rivals that, and maybe even is more accurate.
Well, you're feeding, they're basically taking all the data from your records and MLS records and public records anyway. So it's starting from you and us.
Yeah, that's right.
And then they just turn around and resell it.
Yeah. Exactly. With MLS, I mean, real estate agents use MLS, and I think they have pretty accurate data on there. But again, I mean, I would like to implement cost analyst positions within the department that's all they do is live and breathe building permits, and that we don't miss a single bit of work that's done on a property, so that we really accurately know sort of what the effective age of a property truly is, I think that's something.
What do you think? We've talked about improvements and things that are wrong with the office. What do you think is right with it?
We have good people in there. A lot of our appraisers, they're really smart people. Unfortunately, we haven't been able to, I don't want to say that we're shackled, but there's a lot of things we'd like to do that we just haven't been able to. That's one thing I would say. I think we have a world of potential with the talent.
Are you suggesting, or am I hearing you say that more power to the employees, power to the people to
great way to put
implement?
That's a great way to put it. Yeah, I mean, we have wonderful ideas. We're very capable. We really think that we can just excel in a lot of different areas within the office, just by simply letting some of the guys sort of work on their projects. And I think we could really come up with some very excellent tools for us in-house and for the public.
So you say you've been at the assessor's office for 10 years.
That's right.
What did you do before that?
I worked at an alarm company for a few years. It used to be called TNT Security.
Oh, yeah.
I think they've been bought out a couple times.
I think they're Titan now or something.
Yeah, Titan, right? Yeah. So I did that for a few years, and before that, I was in college.
What endorsements are you proud to claim, if any?
I guess unofficially, I could say a lot of my coworkers.
Okay.
As far as publicly, I haven't had. I've spoken to a few different groups and small neighborhood associations that's given me their endorsements.
Not really been seeking them.
Yeah, not really directly. I mean, this is my first time to run for office. I'm learning as I go.
I'm glad you say that, because you're not a polished political presenter, which I think has an appeal to a lot of people. Talk about that.
Yeah, I never dreamt I'd run for any public office. You'll never catch me running for mayor or governor or senator. I have no interest in any of those offices, just the Tulsa County Assessor's Office. I know this office, I know this business, I know it needs to be improved. I truly feel like we can turn Tulsa County Assessor's Office into a top tier office in this country, if not the world. Pretty bold claim, I know, but
well, I do have to say, from a user standpoint, I want you to know this since you're there. The information I'm able to get online today is really good. It was much better than what it was, but technology, keeping up with it, I find it very useful.
Yeah.
And sometimes I wonder what information you have that I would like that I just don't know exists.
Yeah. Yeah, Mr. Yazel, that's one thing that he did do that I would say was a good idea, is again, moving towards technology, improving technology. You could do a property search on our website, which that's very helpful. We understand a lot of insurance agents, real estate agents use that tool a lot. So one thing is we do post the deeds for the property, how many times it's been bought and sold, but I mean, there's no reason not to just reach in that same database and perhaps post maybe a mortgage, that's on it, or a mortgage release. It's just one example, I think.
What could be added there?
That's right.
Did I ask you the question, what makes you uniquely qualified?
Yeah, I really do feel like being that I have the most experience, that the technology upgrades what's really needed. I feel like that puts me in the best position. I really thought long and hard about doing this, and at the end of the day, as cliche as it sounds, I feel like I'm the best man for the job. And that's why I've decided to go for it, and mainly those two things. I mean, I don't, really like getting into politics. That's another reason I felt comfortable running for this office. It's really math-based, it's math.
It's not that political.
Yeah, that's right. So I don't have rich friends to do favors for or, anything like that. I mean, it simply is just as organic as I know that I can take this office and just make it soar. And it would just be a benefit to the taxpayers. So,
well, last question for you is people going in to cast their vote, what do you want them to know or think they should know about the assessor's office and who they're electing before as they're making their decision? What do they need to consider? What do they need to know?
Well, I think, everyone should know that approximately 75% of property taxes goes to fund public schools. Pretty big deal there. And one thing I've seen as a commercial appraiser is you're seeing big corporations from out of state come in and buy up a lot of real estate. Of course, they have the resources and the muscle to send in attorneys and tax reps and beat those values really low, which skews the amount of tax dollars they pay, and it leaves other people picking up the remainder of the bill. I don't think that that's right. I mean, I think that everyone should just pay their fair share, just accurately valued. And so with the technology I speak of, and
well, is it accurate for me to say then that the assessor's job is to determine what's fair? I mean, that's who we're looking for. You're kind of the judge on all of that, and we have to live with it.
That's right, yeah. The assessor's job is to accurately value property and steadfastly defend those values when the tax reps come in and try to lower the value. In turn, like I said, it's not about overvaluing or undervaluing. We just want to hit it right on the head. That's what the law is the way that the property taxation, ad valorem taxation is set up is just between a millage rate and the school district and the value of the property. And so that's one thing that we have control of is the value of the property. So we want to nail that right on the head every time. Anything
else you'd like to add?
I really appreciate this opportunity. I have a website, tingfortulsa.com.
TING for Tulsa.com.
Number 4, Tulsa.com.
Oh, 4. Okay.
And there's a lot of detailed information on there about myself. So please go check that out. Also have a Facebook.com/Ting for Assessor. And please feel free to reach out to me in a DM, email, phone call, anything. I'm happy.
And he responds.
I do.
Yeah. I appreciate you taking time to be here.
Thank you
really,
so much.
Just for a personal conversation and letting me share it with my friends and followers.
The pleasure's mine. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Well, this is a special edition of The Future of Real Estate. Remember to listen Saturdays at 1 o'clock, krmg.com, FM 102.3, AM 740. You get the idea. And do me a favor. Give me some of your ideas for content that you're interested in. There's a lot of stuff that we cover that the major news outlets just don't have time to. And they do a great job of that, but we get to delve a little deeper. And that's what we do as real estate professionals in the community because it's important. It's part of our mission to not just sell houses, but to have educated consumers and help the public. And this is one of the ways we do it. Thank you for your support for many years, and keep listening.